I want to start with your passion, though. That's why I want to talk curling. Team USA.
Okay, let's do it.
Silver.
Let's do it.
Mixed doubles. Congratulations. Drinking champagne, toasting to them as the resident curling expert. What takes more skill? Perfect curling throw or beating a tackle and a dip and ret?
Oh, man. Curling, making that perfect throw curling is tough. Those ice conditions are constantly changing. Our mixed doubles team that just won silver, two insanely good curlers. Corey Dropkin curled with him a lot, against him a lot, stuff like that. So great people, deserving. I was rooting for them to pull off gold, but you know what? It is what it is. That's why you play the game. But yeah, curling's insanely hard.
Yeah, FanDuel's got. If you were to tell someone who's never watched it why it's so hard, what's the conditions changing? I heard that.
Yeah, ice, right? Ice sucks.
Yeah, ice sucks.
Well, and you have and you're on feet, so you're like slipping all over the place, trying to swing. But yeah, you're trying to be so precise. That's the thing, is like you're dealing with literally fractions of, centimeters and inches and angles. It's like chess on ice, but you got to throw the rock 140 feet, into the right precise, spot. So really, and it's always changing. The ice conditions are constantly changing. The type of shot, depending on what the other person throws, is constantly changing. And so, there's actually a lot of metrics that go into it based off, the time of your slide, your timing, what they call hog line to hog line times to judge the speed of the ice. So based on that, you're trying to throw certain splits and then relay that to your sweepers so they understand that they need to, where you're at. So there's a lot that goes into it, and it really just sounds like people are yelling at each other, but there's some important stuff being said sometimes.
What's one phrase that I need to know from curling? That's something that's being what's the most, when I hear it, I'll know it.
A phrase from curling. That's pretty good.
What are they yelling at everybody about?
Hammer. So hammer's key, because you always want, that means you have the last rock at the end, right?
Okay.
So an end is like an inning or a quarter, so to speak,
Okay.
Yeah, and then they're just yelling, a lot of times just yelling you to sweep harder. And that's where you really, the guy sitting in the house, which is the bullseye,
right,
yelling he's giving directions on line of the rock, right? You just sweep harder, and then you're sweeping your face off and you feel like you're going to vomit on the ice, and somebody that's not sweeping is yelling at you to sweep harder. You kind of want to hit him in the face with a broom, because I'm sweeping as hard as I can, and you're still yelling at me. So it really brings back childhood traumas, all that stuff.
I love that. I love that for you. Let's take a look at FanDuel odds right now, because who do you like on the men's side for the gold medal?
Oh, you know what? Dude, Italy is good. Italy is really, really good. But it's hard to go against Nicholas Adine. They are a powerhouse, and they've been there so often, right? So, and they're the defending gold medalists. So I would probably either say Sweden or the Italian team, to be honest.
What do you mean, USA? Get it together. Plus 4,000.
I hate this phrase to you. If USA wins it, it'll be even more shocking than when Schuster went on the run and won it back, a handful of years ago in 2018.
Yeah, I remember that.
They're a young team. They're a good team, but they're a young team. But
okay.
I didn't see Scotland on there.
Let's see. Scotland's not on there. Can we get the Scotland odds? I can't believe we somehow neglected Scotland. Control room, they were not on there. Okay, sneaky pick potentially. But if you want to be patriotic, plus 4,000 odds, guys, if you believe in miracles. After the Olympics, Jared Allen, you've got something big launching with some help from some friends of mine, George Kittle, TJ Hawkinson. What is the Rock League?
Yeah, we're excited about it. So it's our first professional curling league, right? So it's going to be a little spring league. It'll be a short season here in 2026, and then 2027 we'll expand upon that. But yeah, it's going to be great. So we got teams from all North America, Europe, U.S., Canada, obviously, and really kind of trying to push the boundaries, not push, but change curling, bring it modernized a little bit, keeping a lot of the traditions, but playing in some different formats. Curling is a cool sport because men and women, it's really like an equal playing field. We would laugh. We were like, if the number one pick in a curling draft right now would probably be a female curler, Rachel Holman out of Canada. I mean, she wins everything, right? And so it's really cool to see these teams put together where you're going to have men's and women's all competing together. As far as you might have a women's four versus a men's and men's four. All those points go, or mixed doubles, mixed quads, a whole bunch of things like that. So we're able to create some fun storylines, to create some more action for the viewers. Curling is a great sport to watch on TV, which is awesome because you can have commentary and understand it. And I think it's just going to be fun. I think it's going to be a great way to finally introduce some of these athletes that, you don't really see. You see these niche sports athletes, you don't realize the complications and the hard work and everything that goes into it, and give them a platform to be recognized. We're bringing more money into it. And so we're really excited about having a pro spring league, and it doesn't affect any of your national placements. And like for Canada, it's a big thing for like all their play downs and stuff like that for the Briar Cup. So we don't mess with any of that. And each year we want to progress and grow more and more events with this league. And it's going to be a fun deal. And then we own the Grand Slams of curling already, which is, the 5 major curling events. It's like the 4 majors of golf, right? So you have to be the top 15 in the world to be able to invite into those. And they're massive. So we've owned those now for the last 2 years. And, so yeah, it's just another way to really highlight these athletes, highlight the curlers, and push the sport of something that we think is awesome. And it has such great viewership in the Olympics all the time. So now the challenge is just keeping that engagement past that. And I think we can do that by bringing these athletes together, and they won't be on their typical teams. And there's we have coaches now, we have GMs, we have we ran like real franchises.
And this is a 7-day launch event in Toronto. It's after the Winter Olympics, 2 months. It's April 2026, everybody. And then there's a 5-stop 2027 season. And then it looks like a global, like the goal is a global sort of tour, which would be awesome. When are you hiring me to be your curious little curling 101 silent reporter? When is what are we talking after?
Anytime.
Okay,
you say when, I'll put you in touch with our CEO. And
who's the CEO?
Nick Solsky. He came over from PointsBet. He founded he was like one of the first fantasy kind of gambling site. He founded Monkey Knife Fight back in the day, still at the Valley, and then went up to Canada. Oh, he's a great dude. And that's why I joined on, and guys like Kittle and Hawk and stuff, because it was, so many times you get a group of people that want to start a league, or a group of, they're within that same, kind of athletic world, or they're in that sport, and they don't really have an outside picture. What Nick did, Nick brought in heavy hitters from all sorts of industries, right? From content-based, big money, from, venture capitalists, like Relay Capital is our big venture partner, content, media. Really trying to push and sell this. Great social teams. So,
you're
the dude's
sinking your teeth into this. I think it's very cool. It's you're not just a face. You're not just a pretty mulleted face, Jared.
That was one thing. Nick and I was one of the founding team when we started, spitballing this, and he's done a great job of putting a team together that knows what they're doing from a business standpoint. From sports franchise, we have people involved that help bring women's hockey to Canada and stuff like that. So They did their research, they did their homework, and I think we're in a good place. And the curlers are really understanding that, what we're doing is trying to elevate them and elevate the sport at the same time.
Yeah, NFL's pretty elevated. They're doing pretty well. They're
trying to find new ways to expand in every aspect.
And they are. But listen, Vikings legend, I'd like you to tell me what it felt like to watch Sam Darnold hoist the Lombardi.
I've been saying it since. I had to apologize. I didn't believe he could do it. I'll be honest with you. Now, again, I think he went to a great situation where he has an incredible run game. He had great, defense. I got to give him credit after that AFC Championship game, because, after watching him play the Lions, I guess it was, not this last season before with the Vikings, and that playoff game, I was concerned. I'm like, I don't know that he's got that big game capability in him, just because he looks shook. And again, this is no disrespect to him. I don't know him as no disrespect to him as a person. Don't know him as a person. I'm just, clearly as a fan and as a former player, it was concerning because, in those biggest moments, the guy we needed to handle the ball properly, didn't, right? It was, granted the offensive line, everything like that. And so to watch him come back and, they go on a run in the playoffs, and I saw what he did in that NFC Championship game. I was like, okay, you know what? Kudos to him.
That was it. That game was crazy.
That's a testament to his personality, right? For someone to go and learn from those mistakes and go out and conquer those demons. Hats off to them. Congratulations. Again, I think that Seattle team, I mean, that was truly what you see in a team, right? And knowing your identity and not going away from it. I thought, unfortunately, the Patriots went away from their identity because I thought they were both similar. Run the ball, play action, don't put too much on your quarterback, let your defense play. And that D-line was whooping that O-line. I mean, I felt bad for Drake.
What
I was like, just hand the ball
O-line?
off. Just hand it off.
Is there anything they could have done? Like,
you have to run it. I mean, when dudes are getting pancaked in the pass rush, you better run the ball. I mean, you better absolutely try any way to run the ball, screens, get the ball out quick. Good. I mean, that's a good young team. They'll be back. They'll learn from it. Vrabes is a good coach. He's not going to let them, ruin anybody's career over that. But I was shocked. I was liking it to championship fights. I'm a big mixed martial arts fan, right? And you'll see a guy go on like a 10-fight win streak, and then he fights the champion, and he totally changes his game plan, goes away from what he's good at. Wrestlers all of a sudden want to box. Boxers all of a sudden want to wrestle. And I thought that's what happened with New England. I was like, they just didn't seem like the team I'd seen a few times during the year as far as throwing the ball so much. And then, Seattle they just ran the ball. They stayed ahead of the chains, played great defense, and it was fun to watch until it wasn't fun to watch.
Let's talk about the Minnesota angle to this. Because you tell him to kick rocks. You're saying, I didn't think he could do it. I'm, throwing my support behind JJ. Because 100%. The team doesn't throw their support behind Aaron, which was viable. So then I'm like, it's got to be this JJ kid. I talked to Justin Jefferson last week. He's like, he's my quarterback for now. All this, that's my, you have all these pieces. You're a Super Bowl contending team. Is JJ the guy? I guess is going to be the question going into everything. I
think what happened too with the imminent turnaround of Darnold, right? We thought, Coach O'Connell's just going to, whoever's going to come into that situation is just going to be immaculate. And JJ obviously has a skill set. I'll tell you, my biggest question mark right now is, can the kid stay healthy? He had some good games. They go on a 4 or 5 game win streak at the end. He started playing better football. But, in the beginning, you see, that fourth quarter come back in the Bears, and we're like, okay, there's something there. And then they get stopped. And then, kind of the same thing. They have a game where he starts bad and comes back. So, I think he has some grit. I think he has obviously some good potential. But, you got to stay healthy. You got to stay on the field in this league. So, he's young. I think that's the problem. He's young. And from a Vikings fan standpoint, you're looking at, one of the best receiving cores in the league. Mm-hmm. And how long can we sustain? We got a defense that finished the league, obviously red hot, but everybody's getting older. Every year, they get older, and then those pieces start to fall off. So if you're waiting for JJ to mature by year 5, 6, 7, all of a sudden Justin Jefferson is 10, 12 years in, the whole dynamic changes. So, I'm not one on fire selling and that kind of stuff. But, there's a lot of questions that raise. If you can't stay healthy, you can't stay the starter, right? You can't. Then now we're trying to put money into backups and create these things. So I don't think Aaron was the right answer. I don't think you go out and say, hey, we drafted this kid in the first round.
You don't think Aaron was the right answer?
Not if you're trying. Not for the long-term success of JJ.
So, to win a Super Bowl. Oh, I'm sorry. If the goal is to win a Super Bowl, bringing in Aaron sounds like it would have been.
Yeah, but let's be honest. It wasn't like Aaron tore it up with the Jets.
But he was good enough with the Steelers if he had that offense.
Yeah, again, I think Aaron's a Hall of Famer. He's going to walk into the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
But at that time, it's like, do you? Yeah. Is another 1 year bridge? Hindsight.
Jared, I don't care about the future right now. If I'm
hindsight, you would have been great. F.
But right now. Right now, I'm like, you got this baby little window.
100%.
What are you going to do with it? So I guess I'll ask you this: if Kirk Cousins came back, would you welcome that?
No, he couldn't. In his prime, we weren't winning championships with him.
Okay, so could they not have won with Sam this year? I'm trying to understand. I want the resolution.
Sam's obviously the best option. Sam came out and proved everybody wrong.
Let's show you a list here. Can we show Jared the list that I showed Warren? Here's some of the names that are buzzy, maybe on the move. We got Mac Jones, Daniel Jones is on here. He's not locked up yet with the Colts. Kyler Murray, sky's the limit, of course. Here's some younger options. We don't want to waste the window. Are we a believer in JJ over these cats?
I'll be honest. I think people might hate me for that. I think Tua is actually an interesting option. I mean, the dude won championships in college, right? He shows signs, and if you bring, you put Kevin with that offense, you get a good offensive line. I think Mac Jones, I like what Mac did when he stepped in for, where was he at? Was it Baker? Where he stepped in?
No, he stepped in
somebody.
for Purdy.
Oh, Purdy, yeah. I think he did a great job
With Shanahan.
in San Francisco. So I like Mac Jones. I like Mac Jones coming out of college, to be honest with you.
He's cool.
So I think he's talented. Yeah, I think there's some guys on that list that'll actually at least will push for that starting job and possibly take us there. Again, it's about ball security. It's about being on the field. And obviously, Sam Darnold, in hindsight, was the answer. Does that win the Super Bowl for us? I don't know. But hats off to the kid. I mean, he went out there, turned his career around, and just dominating. So,
really
but we
quick,
definitely got to address that situation.
We talked curling for too long, which I love, actually. Really quick, Max, stays or goes?
If he wants to win, he should go.
You're the best. Walk off.